Hey, it is episode 36 of Beautifully Restored. It's great to be back and recording again this week. And it's funny because the reason I am recording this particular episode is because yesterday I hosted my first ever live coaching webinar, and it was a huge success. It actually far out exceeded my expectations of those in attendance and those who signed up with me for my December group coaching adventure that will all be going on. So I'm excited about that. It was great, but I forgot to record that webinar yesterday. Well, I remembered, but it was like halfway through. So I had the idea, well, let's just go ahead and I'll sit here and record through that content all over again. And then I'll just publish that and upload it to my podcast. So here we are. This was an easy decision because now I know exactly what my topic is for today. And it's how to have a no fail new year. And that's what my live coaching webinar was about yesterday, was how to have a no fail new year. And this was inspired by me hearing so many people, especially my clients in the salon and just family, and listening to conversations and talking with people. So many people say to me, I'm so over 2020. I'm over it. I'm tired of this year. I'm ready for it to be over, and I'm ready to move on to 2021 because surely it can't get worse, right? Well, that's the hope. But the funny thing is, I listen to this and I think, okay, yeah, I feel the same way. 2020 kind of sucked in many different ways. I have to admit, though, 2020, and I've said this to y'all before, 2020 was a year of major growth for me personally and professionally. So I actually don't hate the year. There are things about the year that I'm ready to say sayonara to, like COVID and uh, just a lot of the civil unrest and the anger and the division. But for the most part, I had a pretty good year, to be truthful. But we're all over it, right? We're over it. Everybody was ready and they're to move on. But I'm just curious, are they thinking that when the calendar changes from December 31st to January the 1st, 2021, do things just get better? Is that how it works? We just flip that calendar and we're into the new year and it's going to be a great year and everything's better? It doesn't work that way. And so I was inspired to have a live coaching webinar and now to record this podcast on this topic of how do we guarantee that we don't have another crappy year? How do we make sure that it's maybe not even just better, but that potentially it's the best year we've ever had? And I want you to think about this and apply it to yourself in any or all ways that you want, um, meaning your professional life, your personal life, relationally, any of those things. How can you apply that? What is it that you want more than anything this year coming up, 2021? Because this is really important to decide. There has to be major intention on your part to make sure that it's a better year or that it's the best year, because flipping that calendar does not magically just bring that. It doesn't bring a better year. So you have to be intentional. And I want to challenge you by asking you, what is it that you want more than anything this coming year? And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are young, old, in the middle, retired, working still, whatever you are. What do you want more than anything? When this coming year, 2020, when it ends after 365 days, and you would look back on that year and if you could say that was a kick butt year, like I completely slayed that year, I crushed it, go me, what a great year, best year that I can remember having in a long time. If you could say that at the end of 2021, you got to tell me, What does that mean? What did that year look like? What happened? What did you accomplish? What did you see or achieve that year that made it so awesome? So decide what's the most important thing to you that you want to see change in yourself, in your career, in your life, in your relationships. What's the one most important thing? And I say one, but it could also be one or two or maybe three things. What is the most important? And I want you to write that out. I want you to take a pen and a paper right now, if you're able to do that. And I want you to write out, this is what I want more than anything for 2021. This is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to achieve. This is who I want to become. And this could be your health. I want to lose 35 pounds. I want to get the promotion at work. I want to be a better mom. I want to be more present. I want to be a better wife, a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better kid. Maybe I want to be a better kid to my parents or a better student. I want to get straight A's in school. What is it? What is it that you want to do this year more than anything? And I want you to write it out, and I want you to be specific. Don't just be like, I want to have a better year where I make more money and blah, blah. Write it out. Be specific. How much money do you want to make this year? If you're a business owner and you're driven about making more money in your businesses, write out exactly how much money you want to make this year. Write out exactly how many new clients you want to get. Write out exactly what kind of a mother you want to be. Write out exactly the promotion that you want at work or the recognition that you are desiring to get. Write this out and be specific. And then I want you to think about, how does your life change when you reach that? When this becomes a reality for you in 2021, how does your life change? So if it's a health related goal, how does your life change if you achieve that? If you lose that 30, 35 pounds, if you eat better every day, make good choices, if you have regular movement and exercise every day, how does your life change? How does the life of your family change if you get that promotion at work? If you make X amount of money in your businesses and you get X amount of new clients this coming year? How does your family's life change and how does your life change? How does it look different? I want you to think about that, because that is the why that is going to drive you to push for those goals. Knowing how much better, how different your life looks if you get that. And then ask yourself, if you don't get that goal, if you don't achieve that thing, if you don't become that person or whatever it is, how is your life affected? How is your family's life affected if you don't get that? Zig Ziglar said, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. If you don't have focus and goals going into this new year, and I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I know we're like, that's so cliche. And we're not talking about New Year's resolutions. We're talking bigger than that. If you don't have focus going into this new year and you're not aiming at anything, then that's exactly what you'll hit. Nothing. You have to have focus. It's important for you to sit down and write this stuff out and know where you're going. Know what your goals are. Know what you're shooting for. It's crucial for heading into 2021. You've got to calibrate your journey. And there's a really cool story that I heard my pastor tell in church yesterday about a Mars mission that NASA had back in the late 90s. They were going to be sending this climate something, I don't know, like some little thing they send to Mars. They were going to put it like on a spaceship, and then it was going to send this thing over to Mars, and they were going to look for water on Mars. And Mars is one of those really mysterious places that even, especially back then, they didn't know very much about. We all wondered if there was life on Mars, right? So they were going to send this thing to see if there was water. It was a climate something. Anyway, so you've got to understand that Mars is at least 33 million miles from Earth. In fact, if you look it up, there's some that say that it's 60 some million miles. But I guess it depends on the season that we're in. Earth is at times, at least in the minimum, 33 miles away, million miles away. And what's crazy is that when you take that journey to get there, 33 million miles, that takes at least 9 months of traveling. So they sent this thing out off to travel to Mars, knowing it was going to take 9 months. And think about how specifically and accurately they had to calibrate that to get there. Because had it only been a day's journey, they could have gone this direction and would have gotten there regardless of how little or big they may have been off, most likely, right? But think about 33 million miles and how even just being off by just a teeny little bit could send you way off track. And that's exactly what happened. They were off because I re-listened to my pastor's sermon because I don't always listen to details of things very closely. And they had the creator of this thing was using like the inches and miles, the metric system. Isn't that the metric system? Anyway, I don't know. But had long been using like kilometers and all that stuff. Okay, they're two different measuring systems. And because of those two different measuring systems, one being miles, one of those being kilometers or whatever, they were off. They were off in their journey because after 33 million miles and 9 months later, that baby was off. So think about that in your life. Let's apply that to you. There's 365 days coming up in this next year. You think about one day in your life and the choices that you make, and how big of a difference does it really make? It doesn't seem very big. Okay, so for lunch, if I'm going to go and have a cheeseburger and a bunch of fries and a milkshake and a big old Pepsi, big deal. It's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to gain a bunch of weight from having that one meal. That's the truth. But if I have that one meal and I have it over and over and over most days of the week over the whole next year, it does have impact because time magnifies our habits. Whatever your habits are that you do on a daily basis, they may seem small in that day, but time magnifies that. It's the compound effect. You take something small and you compound it day after day after day after day, and it becomes something big. My business coach, Ken Jocelyn, always says, think incremental, not monumental, because it's those incremental small things that over time add up to big, massive, huge, monumental results. So you have to calibrate your journey this coming year. You have to make sure that you are on track every day. Every little decision does matter. And the more that you do these things over and over and over, the more that they multiply. The next thing you have to have, besides focus and intention, in order to have a great 2021, you also need to have the right mindset, because your success in reaching these goals stops and starts with your mindset. So whether or not you reach your goals in 2021 will be determined by what's up here, your mind, your thoughts. It's either going to start there or it's going to end there. If you don't believe that you are capable of reaching these goals, then you won't. Henry Ford said it best when he said, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Either one, whatever you believe, you're right. If you believe that you can, that's where it starts. But if you don't believe that you're capable at all, it ends there. Your attitude determines your altitude. A good friend of mine named Doug says very often, as you think, so shall you become. However you think is how you'll become. It's who you will be. When you start to believe that you are capable of big things, your actions start to align with that belief subconsciously. You don't even realize that it's going on. And subconsciously, your actions start to align with this up here, your belief system in your head, and then you start to work towards it. And again, this happens subconsciously. We don't even realize that it's going on. When you believe it, you begin to act out what you're believing. And this can be negative or positive. If you think you're worthless and you're a failure, and every time you try to do this or try to do that, you fail and you don't make it and you quit, that's how your actions will follow. But if you believe that you can do it and that you're successful and that you're going to make it, then that's what your actions will seek to prove. Ed Milet, who's one of my favorite influencers, says doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. We always think that it's failure, our failure, that will cause defeat or will, kill our dreams. Well, I failed, so that didn't happen. We think that it's failure that does that, but truthfully, your doubt, your self-doubt, your disbelief in yourself, your lack of trust in yourself and your abilities will kill your dreams, your goals quicker than failure ever will, because it stops and starts with your mindset. Maintaining a positive outlook will make the difference between staying on the course or throwing in the towel. As you set out this year to reach new levels, whether it be personally or professionally or in whatever way, as you set out, there will be times that you will want to throw in the towel because it gets hard. It's not easy. And your positive or negative outlook will determine if you keep going or not. How do you stay positive in a world filled with negative? How do you stay positive? Well, one of the ways that I do is I surround myself with positive people. When you surround yourself with a circle of people who are positive, encouraging, supporting, believe in you, that's contagious. And so I try to limit my time around negative people, those negative Nancy's that are always just putting the smack down on every idea you have or everything that you say. Limit your time with those people. And even if you have to eliminate, sometimes you have to eliminate negative people from your life, and that's hard. And I know sometimes it's family who may be negative, and you can't eliminate them completely, or maybe you can, but you can limit your time with them, limit your exposure. Maybe you'll be a good influence on them, but many times they drag us down. So you have to be careful of that. I surround myself with positive people. I'm going to give a shout out to my mom and dad who almost always listen to my podcasts, and they text me and say, "That was so good. That was really good. I enjoyed that." They are two of my biggest cheerleaders in this life. And they are very supportive and believe in every crazy idea that I ever have to do. And they're really a big encouragement to me. So I surround myself with people like that. Number two, stop watching the news. How do you like that? Some of you don't like that because some of you love to watch this stuff, but you guys watch it all day long. When I'm doing people's hair in my salon and they're super fearful of COVID and they're super scared of the future, and that's all they talk about the whole time they're in my chair, I always ask the question, "Do you watch the news a lot?" And they always go, "Yeah, I do. I watch it every day." I'm like, "Yep, I can tell." Watching the news, oh my gosh, the news is so negative. The few times that I ever catch the news, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like boom, 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 all bad stuff, all bad stuff. Sensationalism. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to grab you by your emotions. And that's what the news's job is, right? So, hey, if North Korea is going to bomb us, then okay, I'll find out when the bomb hits. I don't need to know ahead of time. I'm one of those people that honestly, I don't want to be that informed. I mean, there's a certain level of, I know you have to be informed. I get it. But I'm one of those people that's like really like keep it at an arm's length. So if you struggle with negativity, then stop watching the news. Small doses, please. Guard what you read on social media too. Facebook, oh, brutal. Guard what you read on that. That's negative. So many negative things. Number three, schedule daily personal development. This is huge. You have to schedule this into your schedule. If you look at my calendar on my phone, I actually have personal development scheduled every day. I listen to audiobooks or read a book, or I listen to a positive influencers podcast or watch a video. I meet with my community of coaching, my Grow Stack Drive group that I talk about. I meet with them once a week. On the daily, I have personal development. I need that. I need that. I need to be reminded every day of where my mind is supposed to be, where I'm going. Uh, we all need that. So that's another way. Write or say out loud your daily affirmations. What are affirmations? Affirmations are statements that are positive and in the present, and things that you need to believe about yourself. Things that you say every day or read out loud every day or write every day of what you want to be or who you want to become or what you're trying to do. And so affirmations are huge. I won't get real deep into that today. That's going to be something we'll talk about more in the future, but affirmations are really important. They really do change the way you feel. The more that I read, I have certain affirmations that I write and read every day, every morning, and the more that I do that, the more that I actually start to believe it's true. Things that I used to not think were true about myself or my capabilities or my opportunities, and now I'm starting to believe they're true. It does work. And then the last thing for how do you stay positive is don't allow negative thoughts to hang out in your mind. And I've talked about this a lot on this podcast in the past because I really believe in this. If you struggle with negative thoughts about yourself or about the world or about the future, if you struggle with that, you can't let those things hang out in your mind for very long. I love this quote by Martin Luther. He said, "You can't keep birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building a nest in your hair." And what that means is you can't keep negative thoughts from coming into your mind. They're going to come every day, all day long. We have tens of thousands of thoughts that flood into our mind every day, most of them being negative. You can't keep them from coming in, but you can keep them from hanging out. You can keep them from taking residence. You can keep them from renting space in your mind. Don't give them that space. I cast them out immediately. As soon as they come in, I cast them out and I replace it with something true and positive. Something that I know to be true about myself that is positive. So when I start to feel like maybe I'll have the negative thought of, you know, you you don't have anything special to offer people. What, like what do you think people really want you for as a coach? What are you going to give them that they really need? You're just saying the same things that everybody else says in this world. When these stupid thoughts come into my mind, I replace them with what I know to be true, which is nope, I am unique. I am special. I have something to offer. My journey makes me unique. I can help people in a special way. And these are the truths that I fill my mind with. I cast out the negative and I fill my mind with the truth that is positive. Number 3 on how to make sure that you have a no-fail new year, not just having intention and focus, not just having the right mindset, but number 3, going after significance over success. If you are pushing to be a significant person in this world, to where you are impacting and encouraging and supporting and helping people, if you do that on a daily basis and that's your main focus over having success or money or fame, fortune, whatever, if you seek significance, you will always have success. Success will come inevitably because when you're looking to meet the needs of people and to be impactful and to leave a legacy behind to your family and to this world, you will always find success. But if you make your life and your focus all the time only about success or money, fame, fortune, whatever, you will not always have success. You might, but it's not as fulfilling. So, what does significance mean to you in your life? What does that mean to you? What legacy do you want to leave behind to your family? What do you want for people to say about you at your funeral someday? I can remember having such a huge focus on having the perfect body or being in shape or being attractive. I was so insecure. And that was like a big focus of mine. I used to work out all the time and I competed in physique competitions. And, I would surely not want people at my funeral to walk around only saying, she was in really good shape. She always had a nice body. She was very attractive. She sure was pretty. I really hope that nobody at that funeral says that at all. I hope they say that she was a beautiful person on the inside. She cared about people. She met the needs of people. She was always looking to encourage and support others. I would much rather them say that about me. If you spend every day of the next upcoming year looking to encourage and support and help other people, you will not go wrong. It's impossible to have a failure of a year if you do that. Zig Ziglar said you can have everything in life that you want if you just give enough other people what they want. So if you're out seeking to meet the needs of other people and give them what they really want, then you'll get what you want. That's the way that I pattern my coaching after, is that I really do want to help people. I really do. I want to use my journey to give people hope in this life, that they can be and do whatever they want in life. They really can. People that walk around feeling sorry for themselves all the time and complaining about where they're at in life and always looking for others to feel sorry for them, they are not the same people that are going around looking to encourage others. That doesn't happen. You think about the people right now that go around complaining about their life, feeling sorry for themselves. They are not the people that go around looking to encourage, and they're miserable because of it. I know people that don't have much in this life at all. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have the good looks. They don't have everything in the world going for them, maybe from the world's standpoint, I guess. But they go around encouraging other people. They go around loving people, looking for ways to meet needs. And they're happy people. They really are. My husband told me this quote yesterday. It was really good. Holding a torch for another person's path will light your own as well. If you're holding a torch out to help guide someone else, it's also going to guide you. A good example of this was Mike Tyson's fight on Saturday night that just happened. I'm sure some of you watched that fight. It ended up as a draw, which it shouldn't have been. Tyson obviously won that fight. But you know what? Tyson didn't care. He's 54 years old. He hasn't fought in 16 years, and he entered the ring and he was scared. He admitted that he was scared. He said that he's like, whatever I'm scared of doing, I do that. That's what I do, which I love that quote. I wrote that one down about from what Tyson said, but he got in the ring not knowing if he was going to look like a fool or what. He could have gotten knocked out. He could have looked out of shape, and he didn't. He actually looked really good, but he got in that ring not knowing. He took a risk. And why did he do it? For the money? Well, guess what? He's already said every dollar that he makes on that fight, which potentially could be over $10 million, all of it's going to charity. So he found a way to make sure that this was going to be significant and successful for him, no matter what, because in the end, he was giving all that money to charity. It's a great example of seeking significance over success. He didn't even care that it was a draw. He was just glad that people were entertained and that he was able to make money to give to charity. So, focus, intention, mindset, positive mindset, seeking significance over success. And the last one is planning for failure. So you're like, well, wait a second. I thought you're teaching us how to have a no-fail new year, yet you're telling us to plan for failure. Well, that's because failure will come. It's bound to. If you are setting out to reach new goals and new levels, new heights in life, and you're trying for something, then you will fail, because failure is part of the process of success. They're not opposites. It's not like, well, if I succeed, then that means I didn't fail. And if I fail, that means I didn't succeed. That's not true. They're actually one and the same together because they're part of one another. You can't have one without the other. So if you are working towards something, you will fail. But if you fail, that means you tried for something big, you risked something, and then you can learn from it. Because failure is not final unless you choose to let it be final. But failure is not final. And as John Maxwell says, fail forward. Make sure that you do take your failures and you use them in a way to propel you forward, to learn from them. Take responsibility for your mistakes and then learn from it and move forward. You will only fail if you quit. Truly, that is the only true and final failure, is when you quit. Ed Milet says the difference between winners and losers isn't about who gets up or who stays down, because everyone gets up eventually, but it's how long did you stay down? How long did you allow it to defeat you? How long did you allow it to keep you down and discourage you? Determine ahead of time that when you do fail, and the keyword is when you do fail in 2021, determine ahead of time that you will recover quickly when things don't go well, when things don't go as planned, that you will recover quickly, that you'll get back up as quick as possible and you'll move forward again. How about you encourage yourself the way that you encourage your own children? Why are we so hard on ourselves? We get so hard on ourselves. Yet when our kids fail, we pick them back up and tell them it's okay. We all screw up. When your little one who's learning to walk falls, you pick them back up and help them to try again. We don't just say, "Nope, you suck at walking. So why don't you just give up and stay down because you're not a good walker." So don't even try. No, you pick them back up and help them keep going. Do that with yourself. So for example, let's make this practical. Your health journey. You go to the gym 4 days in a row. You're killing it. Yeah, I'm going. I've got almost 4 or 5 days under my belt now. And then something happens and you miss a day. You miss a week. Who knows how long, but don't stay out. The key is recover quickly. Okay, so what? So you were doing really good. You were doing awesome. And then you completely just fell off the wagon. Get back on. Get going again. Recover quickly. Pivot and adjust. When something doesn't work out and something doesn't go well, just find a different way. Don't give up. Napoleon Hill, he's from like 1918. He wrote the book Think and Grow Rich back in the early 1900s. He said the most common cause of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. When you're overtaken by temporary defeat, because defeat is temporary. And it's only when you're overcome by it that you fail. If you decide now that you will not quit in 2021, then you will not fail. It's that simple. You will not fail this coming year in any area of life if you decide you will not quit. That no matter what happens, you will not quit. You will keep going. So, how to have a no-fail new year? It's pretty simple. I haven't probably given you things that are mind-blowing, but sometimes we need the reminders. You've got to have focus and intention. You've got to calibrate your journey. Make sure that you are every day going down the right path to get to where you want to go. You've got to have the right mindset. You've got to be positive. You've got to believe that you can. If you don't believe that you can, then you won't. You have got to strive for significance over success. If you look to be significant and to be impactful and to help other people, you're going to have success. And then you've got to be ready for failure because it will come, and you've got to be ready to know how to respond to it. That's important too. One of the best ways that I have found to stay on track, to stay motivated, which that word is completely overused. I don't like the word motivated. But one way that I have found to be the most powerful in my life as I've tried to continue down the road of hitting big goals and doing big things and leveling up, the biggest factor for me has been having a coach. So I'm a coach, but I have a coach, and I make sure that I am constantly learning and being pushed and having and staying accountable and having that support. Everyone needs a coach. So, whoever you are listening to this today, you need a coach. I don't care how amazing you are, you need a coach. Everyone needs a coach. Even high level coaches have coaches. You need someone who is invested in your success, who cares about you in your success, but who also does not have an agenda for you and has no judgment. Because when you're talking about family and you're sharing your goals and your dreams with family, they may support you, but they also have a little bit of an agenda for you. They're going to try to steer you in a direction that they think that you should go. Whereas a coach does not steer you, but allows you to lead that because it is your life. As a coach, I never really tell someone exactly what to do, although I help them. Um, you've got to do what's best for you, and only you can decide that. And I'm going to support you in whatever you decide. I am going to help you with your direction. I'm going to help you with your strategies, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. And then if you don't do that, just be like, well, whatever, you didn't do what I told you. That's not how a good coach works. There's a difference between good coaching and bad coaching, but everyone needs a good coach in their life. And so that's why I had this live webinar yesterday, and that's why I'm re-recording this now today for those of you listening, because I'm giving a great offer of a December coaching program. Now, you got to understand, as a coach, my one-on-one clients pay me $300 a month, and I am offering this for a really special deal for you for the month of December. We're going to do 4 weeks of coaching in December. It is group coaching once a week. We're starting this Thursday night, December the 3rd. Yes, December the 3rd at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll start this Thursday night, and we will have a group coaching session together that Thursday night, the next Thursday night, which is the 10th, and then the following one after that, which is the 17th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then our final fourth session will be December 27th, which is a Sunday, because we don't want to have a session on Christmas Eve, the 24th. So I'm offering this for the month of December for group coaching sessions with me coaching with a community of those of us. And I already have people signed up. I'm excited to get started. I want to invite you listening to join us for this, where we are going to get very specific about our mindset, shifting your mindset. I'm going to teach you and help you to build self-confidence, to create small wins. So you start to build confidence. You begin to believe in yourself again, how to crush your self-limiting beliefs, your doubts, how to remove that ceiling of doubt that you may have that's holding you back, and how to build a resume of success for yourself, to build that resume so you believe in yourself. We're going to talk about finding the right focus. How do you even know what goals to have? How do you set the right goals? And then, more importantly than even your goals, but how do you know how to create the systems to achieve those goals? Also, we're going to talk about how to keep your focus throughout the chaos and the busyness of this life through time management, controlling your calendar, not letting time control you, but helping you to learn how to control your own time. If you're one of those people that is busy, 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 doing, and at the end of the day, you feel like you didn't get anything done, that's a problem. And we're going to really get into how to manage our time, how to keep that focus, and then how to take action. We're going to talk about how to take action, how to determine what is the first step that I should even take, taking immediate action, staying consistent in your action over the long haul, because we're talking about 365 days here, a year, right? We're looking at this full year ahead of us. How do you ensure that you're going down the right path, that you have calibrated your direction and you are heading down the right way to your destination? how to be effective and highly efficient in your actions, because those small steps every day lead to massive results. And then we're also going to talk about keeping that consistency over the long haul, because motivation will wane. I'm telling you right now. How do you put in work even when you have no motivation to do so? How do you create and produce in life when you have no inspiration? How do you recover when you derail, when you fall off? How do you recover? And then what do you do when you feel like quitting or like you have nothing left to give? These are the things that we're going to cover in our No Fail New Year, um, December group coaching. And I'm offering this for $97 for the 4 weeks of group coaching. But even better than $97 is if you sign up by tonight, which is Monday, November the 30th. If you sign up by tonight, let's just say by the end of today, November 30th, I'll give it to you at a discount price of $77. So by midnight, Central Standard Time, $77 for this deal. And the added bonus, if you sign up within the day, the added bonus of getting a one-on-one 30-minute private coaching session with me so we can talk specifically about you and your goals and what you want for the year. That will really help me to have that one-on-one private time with you as we go into the group coaching, so we know exactly what your goals should be and are and how we can get there. So that's a great deal. If you sign up by the end of today, November 30th, $77 plus a bonus one-on-one with me. But if you're listening to this and it's after November 30th and you still want to sign up and get in on this first Wednesday's group, it's $97, which is still a tremendous deal for 4 weeks of coaching where we are going to get specific about our strategies and how to have a great year and hit our goals, no matter what your goals are. If they're health related, professionally related. I went through COVID this year as a salon owner who could not even work for 11 weeks. And yet all 3 of my businesses have grown. They've either doubled or tripled in both revenue and size this year alone through COVID. And that was nothing magical, but it was me putting action. It was me having the right mindset, having a coach, and then putting the right actions into place, keeping my focus. And I was able to double and triple the revenue and the size of all of my businesses this year during COVID. And I have 2 businesses that were extremely affected by COVID: my house cleaning business and my salon business. How did I do that? I did that because I had coaching, I had direction, focus, and I had the right mindset. And that's what I want to help you do. So if this sounds like something that you think will really help you, and you've got some things that you want to accomplish this coming year, but you need support and you're not sure how to do it alone, you're not sure where to start, then this is for you. Email me at melcoach80@gmail.com. Get on my website, melissastewarthealthcoach.com. When you go to melissastewarthealthcoach.com, the first page that comes up is the sign up page and then the payment information for this group coaching in December. If you have any questions, feel free to email me about that. I'd be glad to answer them. We can schedule a Zoom together and I can explain to you more about what this will be all about. But I want to be of service and to help as many people as possible. It's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have that community aspect. Also, it'll be interactive. And so I want you to share this with friends if you know of someone that maybe is struggling that could use the help. This is a great deal. And I'm really, really excited about it. We're going to have fun and it's going to be fire. I'm telling you that right now. So thanks for joining me for today's podcast and today's content on how to have a no-fail new year. I hope to see some of you Thursday night for our first group coaching session. And I hope you guys have a great week. Back to work after the holidays. Fun, fun. I will catch you all next time on the flip side.